BioCult, advanced multi-strain formula, 120 capsules of BioCult.
You've gone straight for the gut.
I have gone
straight for the gut.
It's a gut shot.
It's a gut health thing.
But quite early doors for you to be doing this, because this gut thing has become super, and it's not a fad. There's loads. This is not a fad. There's facts here aplenty. But you're doing this in 2015.
I can tell you exactly why. So, as well as being a general gut health fad or not, lots of people take probiotics, which is what BioCult is, if they've had antibiotics. So that's often when you take it. But in this case, you also should take it on an intensive basis if you're about to travel somewhere where tummy things might be an issue.
So you're building up defences.
You're building it up, and that was the best. I got that when I went to a travel clinic years ago for my travel jabs. This amazing woman who was probably in her 70s, she'd been a travel vaccinator for like 40 years. She knew everything there was to know. Right. And she said, this is my top tip, and if people do that, you will not get all the tummy things. So
Can I say, some people are going to be minutes into this episode.
Isn't that amazing?
And they've already got a golden bit of life advice.
That is a great gift, isn't it?
And this is free of charge.
Free of charge.
All you got to do is listen to some adverts.
Listen to some adverts, and then you've got this. And if you
so
don't
good.
now get a readout for BioCult to sponsor this episode, you're not the person I thought I was. You were. But yes, so basically that's what we did. So when my kids would have been, my little one would have been 15. I don't know what trip we would have been doing, but we did some quite adventurous travel in their teenage years.
Talk to me. Take me through the adventurous travel days.
We did what was then Swaziland and South Africa, but the sort of not the Cape Town fancy bit, the sort of camping in little tents and going around animal tracking. My son's a zookeeper.
Oh, wow. As a result of the travelling you did?
No, more we had to do a lot of travelling to accommodate his obsessive autistic interest in animals. Really? So we've been dragged around the world, albeit, I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad gig, does it?
No.
So we did that one. We went to Borneo, Indonesian Borneo, and sort of trekking through the forests, sort of charting the movements of orangutans, some of whom had been rehabilitated, some were had sort of always been out in nature. So we've done stuff like that. And
it's a very adventurous start to the show.
Very adventurous start to the show. And we have, and we've done them because obviously, well, you know, I'm not a multi-millionaire. We were doing those trips not on the cheap, but we were properly getting out there and getting our hands dirty. We weren't staying in 5-star resorts and
hence
having a
why
lovely
you bought
guide.
the old bifidus digestive before you went out there. And did it work, or have you got a great story about crapping
none
yourself
of
in a
us
tent?
had the shits in any of those countries, I don't think.
Okay.
But I did. When I remember going to Turkey years ago, like 30 years ago, with my kid's dad when we were obviously still together, and we got a bug in. We were in a little fishing village, and we got whatever the tummy bug was that not only affected us as the incomers. Everyone in the village got laid out with it. Like the locals were properly annihilated by it. And I've never been that ill. Wow. So when lovely vaccination nurse said, here's a hack, a life hack that will stop you getting ill, I was like, I'm in. So that's a really long way around the houses to pretend I don't have IBS, isn't
it? I have air miles and IBS.
Exactly.
BioCult, advanced multi-strain formula. So do you still take that then?
Not really. I'll take it if I had lots of work. I had a wisdom tooth done earlier this year, and I ended up on 3 different types of antibiotics in quick succession.
Because antibiotics strip out all your gut stuff, don't
and
they?
I luckily do now know, start taking the BioCult as soon as you're on the antibiotics, take it all, and then you've got some chance that the good is fighting the bad. It's like a sort of, you know, Wolverine movie, and hopefully the right thing wins in there. So
there's a Marvel adventure happening in your tummy.
There is.
It's really also, I just think they need to rebrand away from the BioCult thing, because if there is a fad and you feel a bit sort of like, calling it a cult makes you think it's a bit closed shop.
It's not.
And that's because the word culture.
And there's usually cults are more likely to end in death than good digestive health. Right. So there's that as well. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, so flourishing bacteria.
Yes.
A flourishing sense of adventure going all around the world.
Yes.
So your son was into animals and you're like, Borneo. Well, I'd go the zoo.
Well, we did the zoo. So I live near London Zoo. So it started with him at a tiny age. We would go to London Zoo a lot because it was only sort of 20 minutes from where we live. Yeah. And then he always was like, I'm going to be a zookeeper, like loads of 2-year-olds are. And then he really quite obsessive. He started to know a lot about the animals and read like animal encyclopedias. This is pre-autism diagnosis, but I think probably one was emerging organically. And then it gradually got sort of morphed into obviously bigger and more ambitious things. And I still travel a lot with my son, seeing incredible, like he works on various conservation projects, and we'll go to where we're just back from, Prague and vicinity, where there's this amazing rewilding going on of these, I always get the name wrong, I think they're called Swarovski horses. And
I'd have just said horses.
Yeah, they were horses, but they're a specific, I'm probably saying it wrong, but this amazing story of Prague Zoo having got into conservation of these particular horses back in the 50s when no one was conserving anything. And they've successfully, these horses went extinct in the wild in the, I think it was like the 60s or 70s. And this zoo has rewilded loads of them. But again, I went with my son to do that. And we get all these amazing behind the scenes, things. And we weren't just in Prague, we were out in Pilsner and other places. So I do these things with my son now. He's a fully fledged adult zookeeper.
That's so good that he's like, come with me, Mum.
Yeah, he's like, come with me. Well, mainly because if anything needs paying for. He gets a lot of free stuff, but then there'll be the bit where he wants something paid for. But yeah, we did have quite adventurous times, and I did decide as a single mum, which I was virtually their whole upbringing, it's really tempting to just go, oh, I can't really do that on my own with the kids. And I just thought, no, I really don't want me being single to stop them doing things that are adventurous.